Hello, everybody. My name's Rick McCutcheon, and today on Partner Talks, I have a return guest. Erica Hakonson is going to tell us all about the PME conference that we recently attended and actually presented at in Chicago, and a fantastic report that her organization is doing on Microsoft partners. Erica, over to you.
Thank you, Rick. It's great to be back. Love being on Partner Talks, love following Partner Talks. The lead into the partner marketing event with all the speakers you had was really exciting. And I was excited to be back in person this year. This is Maven Collective's second year at the partner marketing event. And wow, it exploded. Like I think we had maybe 80 last year.
We
And the
had
last,
we had about 75 sign up, and we had around 60, 65 in the room.
okay.
This year we had over 170 sign up, and I think we peaked out at 154 in the room.
Yeah, it felt bigger, Rick. I'm not
It
gonna
was.
lie.
Yeah.
It felt bigger. It was a fun group, very engaging. I think I had the opportunity to speak in the morning before they went into the single track, and that was new, I think. Was that the first time tracks were introduced? That was fun to be able to have tracks that were dedicated to ISVs and SIs, they were on different topics and excellent speakers across the board. It was fun to reconnect with some of the speakers from last year and see all the new speakers this year. And as you said, we had the opportunity to highlight our report that we're launching at the end of this month at DynamicsCon. It was our first time really releasing the results, so that was really exciting.
And before we get into the report, for those that don't know what partner marketing event is, I'll put some links in. It was a partner marketing conference that Partner Talks and MS Dynamics World facilitated along with DynamicsCon for marketers. So it was all about marketers, a lot of networking, a lot of great speakers like Erica. So Erica, tell us about your presentation and your report.
Yeah, great. So I did miss telling you, if you have never heard of Maven before, Maven Collective Marketing is an agency that's dedicated to working with Microsoft partners. We are the marketing partner for Microsoft partners, and specifically working with a lot of ISVs, SIs, and VARs. And we've been in this channel since 2012. I have been working in the Microsoft partner community since 2006. And so where this idea of this report came from is because of our work with hundreds of partners around the globe in North America, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. We keep getting asked the same questions. And while it's nice to have anecdotal answers because we work with so many partners, we felt like we weren't really satisfying that itch by saying, well, sure, we have partners that are designated for biz apps and data and app innovation and data and AI, or yeah, we have partners in marketplace, and these partners are doing really well, and these partners are hearing crickets, and so being able to really answer those questions with data driven survey results from hundreds of partners around the globe was really felt a lot more satisfying to be able to start answering partners of like, yeah, is it worth being designated? What does that mean when you're in the Microsoft AI Cloud Partner Program? Because so many partners spent so much time getting their silver designations and their gold designations, and then to have to go get redesignated, it felt, it hurt some partners. It definitely felt like, oh man, we're starting from square one. So is it worth it? And other questions around, marketplace. App Source used to be just for apps. All of a sudden, in the last few years, it was, now consulting services. Should I be there? Shouldn't I be there? Is Azure Marketplace where I should be? What about this partner solution gallery? Actually, fun fact, the ISV that I founded, we worked with Microsoft to create the first partner solution gallery listing. So very familiar with that marketplace. I don't think many partners know about that from an ISV perspective. And it's another opportunity to be listed under Microsoft domain. So, why wouldn't you?
So I think sorry to cut you off, but I think the report really helps us because we go to these conferences, we network, we have a lot of tribal knowledge, right, of what's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on. And we
yeah.
hear from Microsoft in very segmented areas, right? From marketing, from product, from partner about the programs. And we hear about AppSource and Azure Marketplace. But we don't have definitive data from our side. And, when I talk to Microsoft executives, one explained to me, he says, like, we're in a tower looking down at everything, right? Whereas we're down on the street looking up, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we really want to find out what we're all doing down at ground level, to make ourselves more presentable, I guess, to each other, to Microsoft, and to customers. And this data is crucial because, with your data and some of the things that MS Dynamics world are doing, I think this is kind of groundbreaking, especially in our biz apps world. We've never seen this type of data before. So it's becoming more and more strategic to my business and our businesses to be able to look at this data, but we need a third party like Maven to be able to pull it together.
Yeah. And I mean, to be honest, when we endeavored on this, it was kind of like, what are the questions that we want to know? Do we want to know about MVPs? Do we want to know about size of organization and partner types and manage and unmanage and all of these things? And so that was a lot of work in itself, just narrowing what are the things that we need to know and what are the things we want to compare. Then when we got the data, there's a whole nother enormous body of work to translate that into meaning for partners and segment it in a way that it's meaningful for different types of partners. So that was really the work going into Dynamics Con was we know who's going to be in the room. It's typically ISVs and SIs and some VARs. And they have very specific questions around what they need to do to be in a stronger partnership with Microsoft and be able to reap the rewards to be strengthening their partnership with Microsoft. So we really centered, and I centered my talk around, designations. What do they mean? How do they help? How many should you have? And marketplaces, should you be there? Shouldn't you be there? How many should you be in? What are the benefits of being there? What do Microsoft leads look like from coming out of Microsoft, and who's getting them, and why are they getting them, and how do you get them? Going into funding, is funding a farce? There are some partners that always seem to get funded and some partners that can't seem to find funding. So how frequent are partners getting funding? We talked a lot about community because, as we said, we were at a community event, and that's where we get a lot of that knowledge, is being able to interact with and engage with the community and figure out how we can help each other, but also, how is Microsoft interacting with different communities? So we talked about the importance of community and how community comes into play with this, both, you know, partner-led community, media-led community like MS Dynamics World, like PartnerTalks, and events. Like how do events come into all this, and who are attending the events, and what are they getting out of attending the events? It can be an enormous cost on a budget line from a marketing revenue perspective. So what are we seeing? Is there ROI on events? What are partners getting out of events? And a whole whack of other things. But that was a really engaging session. I mean, we had to cut off the questions. There were so many questions at the end. I might have bribed them to ask some questions a little bit, just with some good Canadian chocolate, but I think they were going to come anyways.
So, and I always know it's a good presentation when you tell them, I'm going to give you the slides, but they're still with their phones taking all
Oh yeah.
the slides. I've got to have this, whether, you're going to cut it out of the deck or not. I need this data. So, Erica, you're going to publish this report coming up, correct?
Yes.
Where people will be
Yes.
able to download it and read it?
Yes, we are. Thanks for asking. So May 30th is our published date. We are working as hard as we can right now in designing lots of different infographics and engaging content, so it's really easy to interpret to get to the sections you care about most. It's quite a comprehensive report, so we're in heavy editorial right now to distill it down to the most important facts for you, because there, of course, was 30,000 pieces of data that we collected. A lot of data to sift through and make sure that we're giving you the most important pieces. And one thing that I did say at DynamicsCon is that anyone in the room got a different version of the report and the presentation than those did not attend the partner marketing event, because we made that exclusively relevant to ISVs and SIs. So unfortunately, if you weren't there and you weren't part of that event, you won't be able to get down to that detail without, coming and engaging with Maven to try to pull that out of me. So we do have a lot of great data coming out in the report. It's more than what I've presented. We actually held a webinar yesterday for those that weren't in the room had over 175 signups for that session, and equally same reaction. So many questions. We fielded as many questions as we could before the session ended, and lots of partners signing up to get that report as soon as it's available. So we're working hard. We got 14 days to get that polished and get it ready to launch. And anyone that signs up on the Maven website, it'll get delivered to their inbox.
Okay, I'll put the links into this show, and this show will go on air probably the same week as the report comes out. So everything's going to align for you, hopefully, perfectly.
Yeah, excellent. Even if it comes out after, then the report will be available, so there's less waiting involved.
Okay. All right, Erica, I want to thank you for the work you did at the partner marketing event, and I look forward to getting the full report so I can consume that information and other things that Maven is going to come out with in the future.
I appreciate it, Rick, and thank you for hosting such a successful event. As the partner marketing event grows and evolves each year, it was really a pleasure to be a part of, and I look forward to being back next year.
Okay. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.